Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Welcome once again to another session of Living World of Darkness. This is a scene for the vampire venue. We open up in the middle of the night, as these things often tend to be, where the area surrounding a massive cathedral-like Gothic nightclub is actually quite lively, as the sounds of music pulsing inside can be heard from outside, and massive crowds of people are gathered, excitedly anticipating whatever's going on inside, though many of them appear to be quite quickly turned away by bouncers who are quite obviously looking more to keep out the unfashionable than to keep out the underage. As the night grows long in the middle of New York City, this is where we will open our scene. To all of you who have Camarilla lore at least 2, you recognize the name of the club, although you don't have many other details surrounding it, save for a mysterious explosion that caused quite an uproar in the domain of Chicago.
Okay, Jinx. So this is how this shit works. We're gonna stand in a line for a really long fucking time. Like a really long time. Like a really long time. And when we get to the head of the line, you see those 2 meat walls over there? See them? Like a grand total of 500 pounds of ground people?
Da.
They're gonna decide whether we get in or not. And if we don't get in, we'll move on to the next. I know some places.
All right. We'll probably get in. Well, yeah, we'll probably get in.
Until then, you are about to witness the majesty of my brick breaker game.
All right. She seems quite happy with that.
And Craig dutifully waits while playing brick breaker.
Jinx is playing Angry Birds.
Rex isn't too far away from where they join the line and joins them in the line. Trying to match what he had seen Lola getting dressed in and what what he had seen Jinx did up with. He's wearing a very dark trench coat. And just sort of steps up, really. Hi.
You look very gothic, Rex. She'll give him a smile.
That's good, right?
Yes, it is acceptable.
Yep.
So what the fuck we doing here?
Waiting in line.
He takes a second to think about how he hasn't had to wait in a line since the 90s.
That's a long time ago.
Heading behind them will be a relatively large man in very unusual attire, especially with the very large and very evident gas mask on his face. His movements seem a little apprehensive as he kind of looks around this general area.
I don't know, man. A gas mask seems pretty fitting in this setting.
Yup.
I was gonna say, dude.
And I believe Rex was the last person in line, correct?
So far, yeah.
Yeah. We'll hear from behind. Hey, brother. He pricks out a note and he says, "Is this?" and kind of shows a note that says, "Head to this particular address." Is this the right place?
He's going to he's gonna turn and he's gonna physically, if you allow him, or at least he's gonna try to put his hand on the paper and like get real up close to it, read it, and then he's gonna look this gentleman right in the gas mask and say, "Yup."
And he says, "Thanks, young blood. I took a few turns. I thought I might have gotten lost." Then puts it in his pocket.
Nah, man, we're at the house of the emo kids now.
Jinx will whirl around. God.
Craig doesn't turn around. He just goes.
like do the boy, you know what I mean? Hands as well.
What's the difference?
There is a vastly array of difference, Rex. A vastly array of differences.
What, like longer hair?
She just turns back around, just as like I'm done with your hands.
Yeah, the laughter continues.
Robert also joins the group. So I want to be in this shit. Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Newest
Welcome.
club on the scene. You guys wanted to look at it as well?
Yep.
Yup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was asked to be here.
Like, this is the first point at which Craig turns around and actually looks at this dude.
In a gas mask suit, like Jinx raises an eyebrow. I am not surprised.
You know, if you have like an invitation, you are likely to be on a list. Yes.
That was what I was told. She just gave me a note and told me to be here and speak to some people.
Oh, okay. So, and Craig like takes a minute and is like, "Do you see the two big guys over there and how they possess something called a list?
Yeah, I've seen a list before.
If you go up to them and say that you were invited, you will likely be on that list, and you will get to skip this majestic experience known as the line." I know it's a lot to give up, but it may help you on your journey.
Yeah, Jinx is trying not to laugh.
The man will look at the man. The gas will kind of look at him. His head will slightly turn. It's like, "It's all right, man. I'm in no big hurry."
And that's when Craig turns to Jig. It's like, "See how fucking amazing waiting in line is? This dude has a golden ticket, but he wants to be here experiencing this now with us."
With
It's
us.
clearly you're with us. Yes.
Excuse me, my good friend, but I haven't caught your name yet. He gestures to the gas masked individual.
And he'll present. He'll go into his pocket and present a card to the young man, and it'll say, "Caesar Alvis Devlin said doctorates in human psychology."
Quite impressive.
That was the strangest introduction of a psychologist I have ever seen.
Are you well, all right then. do you mind if I keep this?
No, it's perfectly fine. I nearly give it out to everybody. I could always use the business, and I'm always willing to help people out.
Wonderful. And he puts it in like a pocket of his black jacket. Robert Jameson, doctorate in marine life biology.
And though you cannot see his face, there you definitely feel a sense of, I guess, camaraderie. It's like, it's good to see another person of study and knowledge. Any particular focus in marine biology? No.
My main interest lay with coral and formations of coral and their effects on the surrounding area.
Yeah, I see. Well,
But I've recently turned my attention to regular plants here, fruits and vegetables.
So more botany these days. Interesting. And the man in the gas mask will turn around himself, looking at Rex. I guess since we're all introducing ourselves, I believe I heard your first name was Rex, right?
Yup, Rex. I'm an entrepreneur.
Pleasure to meet you, Rex.
Offers his hand to shake.
He complies.
Oh, it's a firm fucking grip. It is such a firm grip. It is a firm, like, alpha grip.
So, what's your dealing a trade, young blood?
Young blood.
Yeah, despite this attire, I'm going up in age these days.
No, that was my answer.
He kind of cracks his knuckles.
Jinx would probably exchange the most awkwardest of glances with Craig.
Yeah, like there's no more brick breaker at this point. Like it's going, and the ball will launch and hurl itself into the abyss like many balls before it. But instead of watching that existential meltdown, Craig just kind of watches back and forth like a table tennis cat as these two engage.
Caesar, just look at him, just really stunned and not sure what to say.
It's at this point that Craig nervously eyes what's left ahead of them in the line.
Oh, the line's getting pretty close as you guys manage to entertain each other for a period of time. And you see a couple people shuffle in, some let in past the bouncers, two of them completely identical, each one sporting heavy scarification and gothic makeup.
Nice.
The two that appear to be twins seem willing to let you continue on your conversation, although their crossed arms and stern demeanor don't belie a lot of patience.
Hello.
Awkward wave.
They'll look you over once or twice. How's everybody dressed tonight?
Unfortunately, I'm always going to be.
Spike combat boots, ripped black jeans, Sisters of Mercy t-shirt, leather jacket.
Beat up jeans, okay-ish boots, a shitty band shirt, and a shitty leather jacket.
Plain white t-shirt. Dark jeans. Combat boots. And a dark trench coat.
God damn it.
Combat boots, ripped jeans, a t-shirt and this thing that I'm wearing over it.
Okay. They'll give you guys each a quick once-over. They don't seem terribly impressed at either Craig or Robert's outfit. They'll start to let you guys in. They seem pretty quick to let the guy in the gas mask in. The trench coat and the Sisters of Mercy shirt both earn some points. But they stop and stand in front of the door when the two of you try to move in.
Which two?
Craig and Robert. The ones dressed like normies.
So now what? Well, like, he's genuinely looking up at them. And as what he says.
Well, you don't have the fashion sense. Do you have the money to get in?
Cover charge being...
What exactly?
Sorry, it's the implied blowjob that I just.
God damn.
Sorry.
These two gentlemen don't have 20 minutes to spend in the mouth right now.
Sorry. It's Craig. I'm sorry.
God damn it.
I love you both.
So yeah, he's just a cover charge being...
Impress us.
Craig just kind of fucking blinks, like, what the fuck? He looks at Robert like, with this kind of, what the fuck is this shit? Like, look on his face.
Fantastic. Hold on. Let's see if I have some shit for this.
Phenomena.
Da-da-na-na-na.
Phenomena.
Da-da-na-da.
Please tell me Rex is not actually covered in blood, because that's going to be very weird when Jeffrey walks into the Succubus Club.
No, he's
Nah,
totally covered
he's
in
the-
blood. That's
He's in the
fucking
trench
metal.
coat. He's in the trench coat.
Camera, can you please? Thank you, camera. Bob, do you have ideas?
Um. When you said hold on, I was kind of waiting to see what you were gonna do.
I'm searching through options.
And meanwhile, Craig, everybody's everyman. Like with what, my Angry Birds high score, possibly some of my batting cage records. I had like a good driver's reward once for like 6 months. My car insurance.
The two of them in bizarre unison will roll their eyes. And they'll say, "Step aside, sir."
And Craig steps aside. In fact, he gets well out of their range and begins heading away.
Just
As as he begins to turn away, someone calls out from behind the two bouncers. Boys, don't you recognize my guests when you see them? And a
The
woman.
two will again in mirroring unison.
Robert should recognize this woman, possibly Craig.
Yeah, Craig remembers her.
Robert runs.
Does Craig seriously, Robert seriously knew him, like right now?
No.
Fucking priceless.
That shit would be amazing. Just like through the Starbucks
still wanna do
window,
a
through the back of the Starbucks. Fuck everything.
like a Bond chase scene.
Is it? Yep, it's that thing. Look, it even says there, Vampire SD thing too.
Yeah, at this point, Craig kind of exchanges a look with Robert.
Well, our sincerest apologies, gentlemen. We wouldn't want to keep you waiting. And they will both sort of turn aside, opening as if they were double doors in human form.
Robert looks at Craig, shrugs, and steps in.
Well, gentlemen, it's good to see you again.
It's been a fortnight. I didn't actually know we were acquainted.
She'll wait until they're a few steps inside, away from the bouncers. Well, I'd say we have a passing notice of one another. And she'll again give Robert that wink.
Meanwhile, the inside of the club that you stepped into indeed appears to be a converted Gothic-style cathedral. Although the inside doesn't appear quite so small, as certain hallways and stairs and such seem to imply the architecture has since been added to, hidden within the nondescript buildings that flank the place on each side. However, the real fun, aside from the pounding Gothic music, this time more along the veins of Typo Negative than anything else, and the flashing dark red lights that bathe the area in a sort of bloody dark mystique. If you guys would like, you're welcome to make a perception alertness roll.
Jeffrey won't because he's not inside yet.
Is it hearing based?
It is sight based.
Ooh. Make it.
2 successes!
I got one.
2.
I won.
Okay. Those of you with less than 3 successes and yet greater than 0, you happen to spot out of the corner of your eye a monstrously ugly individual dressed in fetish gear ducking into one of these corridors. With 3 successes, however, the Tremere, you settle upon something
2,
more subtle in its
not 3.
You got 2?
I got 2. Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody get 3?
Nah. I think all of us got 2.
Never mind then.
I mean, if you still want to give it to me, I'm cool with that, but just say it.
Nope.
So yeah, awkward stares at Jinx and Rex and Robert. Probably the 4 of them staring at each other.
Robert's like, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm rolling with it.
So who are you? What do I owe you at this point? I gotta say, this is second impressions. I still have no idea what the fuck's going on, lady.
Just a friend. Someone who has no affiliation and looking for people that won't shoot on sight.
Well, thankfully, I left my cowboy horse shit at home.
Yeah, also shooting on sight is not the most polite thing
It really
to
isn't.
do. But when you say just a friend, not exactly precise either. It's almost mysterious. Well, I do thank you for letting us in.
Yeah, that is a solid. I'll at least give you that, man.
Besides, it looks like you got separated from your closer friends.
Oh, yes. What are they at this point?
I'm assuming Jinx and Rex stand out, man.
I don't know. I don't think you do.
Like, just imagining Jinx held on to Rex's back for survival.
Return of the koala.
Turn the koala.
I know the cry when it goes out. Koala.
Lola for koala totem.
Well, there are 2 people that still need to enter the scene.
At least.
Well, yeah, Jeffrey drives on over to Succubus Club and has since exited his vehicle and is dressed rather finely. And yeah, goes to enter and hopefully doesn't run into people masquerading as revolving doors. That would be very awkward.
I'm gonna say for convenience sake that he can run into Lola in the parking lot so I can get the fuck in the scene.
Oh, Lola will definitely be let in almost immediately and enthusiastically.
Good, Jeffrey's a fan.
Is Jeffrey her +1?
Sure. I mean, he has high society influence. So.
He does. He knows how to dress himself properly, so assuming he has dressed himself well, yeah, she'll just come walking up and link arms with him for convenience.
Oh yeah, they won't even say anything to the 2 of you. They'll just each give you like a curt nod and step aside.
Of course they do. Why would they do anything else? Snicker, snicker.
And you too will be greeted to the pounding gothic nightclub music and the decor that is primarily red and black with lots of velvet, lace, and leather. There are a couple other wings that appear to have hallways leading to them. There's also a fairly large bar. And if you want to make a perception alertness roll, you might be able to find the person leading Craig and Robert around.
Yep.
I got 3. Surprisingly.
At 3 successes, you can pinpoint the 2 of them pretty easily. You could probably find, as well, Rex and Jinx, wherever they may be, whatever they might be up to.
Gonna go with one leaning casually and one standing awkwardly. Seems like a pretty apt guess.
Yup.
The
Look what's
koala.
about to fit in.
Yep.
I don't fit in this shit. All these greasy-haired fucking boys wearing makeup, girls wearing makeup. I don't get none of this.
It's, that's what they do, Rex. I don't know why you're shouting. They can hear you.
Yeah, man, that's some decorum.
Music's loud. Fuck your decorum.
I'm not saying like this place any better, man, but you yelling ain't making it any nicer to be here.
I'm not yelling.
Lola will take note of where what is it? Robert and Craig are off and who they're with, and then we'll probably slip slip Jeffrey's arm unless he intends to come with her to with a hand lofted towards the other 2, the 2 most grotesquely out of place people here.
Yeah, he'll come with her. I can't believe I failed an alertness roll to spot Rex, but yeah.
It's really loud music. It's fine.
See, I told you.
Yeah, she's gonna come over and Rex, why are you yelling?
What?
Does he have a nod?
There's just like a pause. Her eyes shut for just that half second. That just, no, I can do this. It's fine. And she just will slip into her clutch purse and grab out her phone and type on it in a messenger like to herself. We'll type, "Why are you yelling?" and point it at Rex because she is not going to yell.
And he like grab her wrist. She allows it.
I mean,
and we'll pull the phone right up to his face. And then look up at her. "'Cause everybody's quiet.
Caesar will go over to what he thinks he remembers the woman's name being Jinx. Does that brother not have his glasses on? Or he just have a hard time seeing in general?
It's dark nightclub. Sometimes it's easier for Rex to see.
Mm.
And we'll erase her previous thing. Type in, "Who is that over there with Craig?" ? And we'll gesture in the appropriate direction and show him the message so that hopefully he can spot them this time around.
And he'll similarly grab the wrist, look at the message.
This time she actually thrusts it up in his face, and he can adjust accordingly, but you might as well just get all the way there in the first place.
Yeah. And look around for Craig and Robert.
It's worth saying at this point, I have no idea where they're being led, just that they're being led by this individual.
I think they were let go. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
Is it safe for me to say that he's been successfully pointed out, and therefore it would not be metagaming to just point and shrug?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Rex will point and shrug.
Jinx real close to Rex.
Yep.
She gets a little bat on her arm to get her attention.
Immediate turn, like jumping turn.
And she will just repeat the process because fuck it. It's already typed into her phone. We'll just, point the screen at Jinx briefly and then kind of nod with her head over the appropriate direction.
Jinx will look over. I'm assuming I recognize her, right? From the other night. Glancing at her. The woman with Craig and Robert.
You're muted, Vinny.
Sorry. It's like, why is no one responding? No. Yeah, you more than likely recognize her. The only thing different is she's not wearing a black jacket.
Jinx will do a small brow furrow immediately, get her own phone and send a message to Lola, possibly woman from other night. The one I told you about, type, ding.
Yep, she'll glance at her phone and play it off with a light shrug and go ahead and tuck her phone politely back into her clutch purse.
I'm going to get drink. She just makes her way to the bar and is not standing around awkwardly anymore. Trying to beeline her way towards the bar, trying to keep a good line of sight on Robert and Craig.
Meanwhile, if Jeffrey has decided to keep a hold of Lola's other hand or other arm, his will get a light pat as she turns and smiles up at him. Colorful place, isn't it?
Ah, yes. It reminds me of the... what did they call it? The dungeon club back home. Interesting culture. He kind of looks around.
Caesar will get out his phone and begin texting his sire, more or less letting her know that he arrived at the place and basically saying, well, now what?
Jeffrey Facepal, take a seat. But will not drag Lola down. Like Potence Paul. No.
That would be mean.
That'd be mean and very
Impolite.
uncivil. Yeah. And
I would follow that brouhaha temper, though.
yeah, I know, but Lola's like not infuriating or frustrating, so
Yet.
It's actually quite surprising to me that a place like this continues to survive, but I suppose it serves a niche.
Oh, places like this are hidden everywhere. And glancing around, is this a goth club or is this more of like a fetish club? Like, what are we looking at here? Where on the spectrum are we between the two?
It's a little a column A, little a column B. In the place that you're at right now, it appears to be more like an actual club where the main thing going on is dancing and drinking. Although there are various neon signs that point ominously to the other wings. This one has no particular name, title, or indicator, just being the main body of the club. The neon sign on the right, with an arrow pointing down, reads The Labyrinth. The neon sign to the left, with the arrow pointing up, reads Elysium.
Well,
One of those sounds far more attractive than the other.
I didn't know you were such a fan of minotaurs.
Does someone actually say that?
Sure, why not?
some random fucker.
Drunk off his ass and wearing a gas mask and a mohawk. Just the respirator, though.
I actually thought it was one of those escape rooms. If you know what those are.
The guy will shrug, gather his drink, and make his way back into the rest of the crowd.
Meanwhile, Craig looks at his new host and points at the sign that says The Labyrinth and goes, "Is that one of those escape rooms?"
God damn it.
Oh,
I'll
Bob.
find out if you wanted to.
Okay. Cool.
Or you could enjoy the, and she'll point to the bar. Great drinks. Anyways, gentlemen, she'll pull out a card from her jean pocket and or 2 cards, hand one to each of them. Point of contact. Let me call at some point here in the near future. Love to get a chance to get to know this city a bit more.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'll keep my phone near me, I guess.
Then I suppose if you are going to reach out, you're going to need a number, or do you already know?
I'm not that connected.
Wow. And Robert, camera. Thank you, camera. Robert will take out a card, write down a number on it. There you go. What is it? Does she have a card, or does she give a card?
Yeah,
'Cause you
she
said
hands you a
like-
card.
What does it say on it?
Give me 1 second here. I need to pull up the thing. Look at it. I don't remember the last name here, just off the top. It says Nina Dennings.
Nina Dennings and a phone number, I take it, nothing else.
That's it.
All right.
No, there's a fax number too.
Wow. Yeah, no, Robert will hand over a number that he uses, and we'll give it to her.
She'll take it and put it into her pocket, and then she'll look over at Craig just to see if he wants to.
I texted you like a lolcat. I'd be like lolcats.
Oh, kitty. Well, boys, enjoy yourself. And she'll pat each of them on the shoulder as she parts them like the Red Sea and disappears back into the club.
Thank you, Nina. And then Robert's going to turn to Greg and have that look of, what the fuck?
Man, all right. So follow me on this. We have bigger problems. The fact of the matter is, that was probably the most neutral thing that's happened to me like this week. So I'm not going to look a gift event in the mouth. Not for 20 seconds, not for 20 minutes. Instead, I'm going to go figure out if that really is an escape room because I hear those are the shit. And he heads towards the labyrinth.
All right, who all wants to go to the labyrinth?
Yeah, fuck it. Jinx is going, pulling Rex with her as well.
I gotta watch Jinx.
I'd much rather prefer Elysium, but
Fine, I'll go as well. This sounds amazing.
As Craig leads this parade in a downward spiral.
Mr.
Sees all these people leave. He's like, hey, where you guys going?
I feel like Lila's going to go along at least far enough to spectate. But she'll trail behind the main group.
The large neon sign as you walk under it. There are a few other people who occasionally venture into the labyrinth, although they seem to be in the minority, most of them either choosing to stay in the club proper or wander over to the one labeled Elysium. However, you push your way past more of these club kids, and you may get the hint that there's not an escape room down here. Although you do hear groans that are difficult to determine whether they are from pain or pleasure. And the first thing that hits you as you finish walking down that hallway that separates the areas and toss open the gate is the scent of blood. Is anybody here hungry? Does anyone here have less than 5 blood in their system?
Nope.
Nah, I'm at a 9er, I think.
I'm 10.
I'm at 11.
I'm at 6. So does conspicuous consumption that
Sorry, what's that?
I guess if I said would the smell of blood possibly trigger my conspicuous consumption?
No differently than it would trigger any other frenzy. Do you have are you hungry?
I'm not hungry, but I was curious in the fact that since I'm supposed to eat meat when I do feed off of somebody.
Oh, you still frenzy as normal. You'll just try to eat them rather than drink them.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the first thing that hits you. Followed by the sight of dancers in cages. A massive, sprawling area with many, many, many private rooms. And several people engaging in playtime in public, if that suits their taste.
Craig turns around to the party that he has formed behind him and says, "This is not an escape room."
It depends on your variation of escape.
Sweet Jesus, this is the stuff my grandma tells me not to go to when I was younger.
You will also notice in the middle of public playtime is that monstrously ugly individual that you saw earlier.
Oh.
No, don't worry about it. Actually, Shelby.
Yeah.
Is this an ugly individual that Craig recognizes?
Give me a wits roll.
Gotcha. Let me look up Craig's impressive wit score. This should be hilarious. We're in Vamp regular, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just bear with me for a couple more seconds. Vampire dice roller proper. Probably gonna botch this. I did not. I got one success.
Okay. You do know this individual, actually. He has been a regular, although definitely not one of the old blood. You know that he jokingly calls himself Jack Daniels and that he's part of the Camarilla.
Don't worry, it's JD. He's all right.
Oh, well, that is comforting.
Lola may or may not be smiling, fit to split her face.
So, form Voltron and see where we end up in this place.
We could, but I wouldn't want to like rush the dude. He's just trying to have a time.
Y'all motherfuckers are Voltron. What the fuck is a Voltron?
Man, did you not watch Saturday morning cartoons?
Like Bugs Bunny and shit.
But no Voltron, man.
Jinx size as well.
Oh, if they're going to wander around, Lola's going to split away and find herself a nice perch. Somewhere she can see what's going on. Probably settle herself much like she is in the picture and just watch an amusement because this place is full of travesties. And she just wants to see someone like Jinx, for example. I'll run into these for the first time. It'll be delightful.
Yeah, no, Jinx is going to explore because Jinx has a computer. She knows what's in there. She's,
Jeffrey's just gonna
So much
sit
different
down,
in person.
have a smoke, and spectate everyone else because Evans knows he going to be the butt of any joke today. No, he's going to be laughing at everyone else.
How does he bend like that?
He just like points it and like nudging Craig.
Practice and believing in the true spirit of your kung fu.
Lola will actually find getting a private perch a little difficult, as some of the people, as they entered who looked up, a few of them seemed to be taking some particular interest in her. One particular, a fairly thin, tall guy with a long black undercut and enough eyeliner to run Sephora out of business. He'll be very emphatically asking her for her autograph while checking over and over again. Wait, are you Lola?
Oh no, that's fine. That's about as private as it gets. And she will even go so far as to do a little bit of fan service and just just ever so dotingly pull him in and leave a nice lipstick stain on his cheek and take a selfie with him with the lipstick stain and give him his phone back.
He his hands are suddenly cold and clammy as he fumbles to take his phone back, and whispers a few very, very quick thank yous, and rushes to one of the private rooms.
I'm
He
never
presumed to
washing my
jerk
face
off about
again.
it.
Oh yeah, no, she's perfectly fine with fans.
I feel like that sentence wasn't supposed to end there. It just kind of ran out of steam.
Fans.
Meanwhile, Jeffrey will. He just puffs out some smoke, and kind of. How to say, moseys on over to Lola. She says, "You're popular as you've ever been."
I should hope so. I pay a good bit on advertising. She grins.
Caesar will look back at his phone, somewhat anxiously, hoping to get a reply back from his sire. It's like, because it's getting awkward for him.
The message will get marked as read.
And seeing that, like, of course, she's not responding to me. He's always been like that. And puts the phone.
Roll Roderick. I know I would, but no, that is ice cold.
He'll put his phone back in the pocket and see if there is a bar. And if there is, he'll do his best not to touch anybody and try to get a glass of Coke and rum. And he'll ask for a very long straw.
Oh, he'll get it pretty easy.
I'm sorry, Shelby?
Sorry. In fact, the long straws don't even appear to be in short demand, as he gets a massive, silly straw.
He nods to the barkeep and removes the cap part of the gas mask and brings the cup close to it and navigates the straw oddly deftly through the minor tunnel and begins to drink from it.
You know, Robert, my sire used to bend like that. She'd like point. She still does the dances for those sort of things. Says that she sips her drink looking over at Robert, like probably watching some weird fucking playtime.
I see. Impressive.
It is, isn't it?
Yes. How do they do that? How do they bend their spine like that?
I'm not sure.
I told you. Practice and believing in the heart of your kung fu.
Yo, they know kung fu. How you know that?
That's when Craig like can't keep a straight face anymore. When someone buys into his horse shit or appears to, he starts like you can see his shoulders shaking and he slowly just topples over.
After a while, Caesar will get a response that says where, the letter R, and then the letter U, and four question marks.
He'll respond, I'm at the Succubus Club like you told me to, and I'm in this area called the Labyrinth.
WTF, don't get eaten.
And he'll just look at his phone. And then a few seconds later he responds, and why did you tell me to be here?
LOL, ask number 2. Talk number 2. Daria. she's chill.
Fucking Nosferatu communication, dude. It's fucking bloody amazing.
She will punctuate it with a gif from a cartoon.
Wait,
making a tongue out face.
is it seriously being suggested that Nosferatu communications are basically Twitch chat?
I mean, are you going to tell them they can't?
Man, if he could though.
After seeing this message,
bastardizations of the English language.
he'll put his phone in his pocket and look to the barkeep. Is there, and trying to speak loud enough for him to hear, probably over the music. Is there a woman named Daria here?
He gives you a look like you just said something incredibly dumb, and he's going to point over to the sign that says Elysium.
Like, and it says thanks, and he'll put down some money on the table and begin walking in the direction of Elysium, hoping they'll be a lot more reserved compared to this place.
Oh, yeah.
What do you say we go explore other areas of this establishment?
Sure, I'm just fascinated. How does her leg go over her head like that? Oh, sure, yeah, we can.
Well, as Greg said, believe in the spirit of kung fu.
Yep.
She fucking
From way over where Lola's perched, she'll say, "Craig is it wrong? Practice."
Yeah, Jinx will just like shake her head and follow Robert wherever we're going.
I hear it's a skill set in demand.
Like full on 1920s newspaper, man. Like, see? You need mock.
See, buddy, yeah. Give it to him, boss.
Yeah, don't.
I see you all want to approach Asia. Well, you'll have to buy your ticket, and then I'll have to punch a hole in it.
And onward the party goes.
It'll cost you a nickel.
Lola will sulk as the group seems to be migrating, and will finally abandon her perch, swan along behind them.
As you make your way through the regular part of the club once again, heading to the opposing side with the neon sign that's labeled Elysium. And this time, the location has a much different sort of feel to it. You aren't assaulted with the smell of blood or the smells that accompany such things that are going on in the labyrinth room. But rather, the place smells vaguely perfumed. Very nice. It is more cool-colored than the rest of the club, and though you can still hear the gothic music from the main attraction, the area instead appears to be more akin to a fancy jazz club, with another long bar with only a few folks dressed in more business appropriate yet still fashionable attire sitting around it, as the floor is made of a sort of marbled dark indigo pattern, and very thick velvet curtains cover each of the large glass windows.
Caesar automatically feels dramatic or relaxed, and this is much more of his scene.
Jinx looks bored.
This is much more my kind of setting.
Yeah, it would be.
Rex looks super bored.
I have to admit that Labyrinth was far more entertaining.
Yep.
People look like they was fucking.
Jeffrey will comment, and he'll get like the playful little nudge at the shoulder. Like, don't be boring.
A group of gentlemen who appear to be engaged in a very intense poker game will look almost offended over at Rex as he shouts about people fucking.
When they look at him, are they very blatantly looking at him?
Oh yeah.
People looked like they was fucking.
Jinx like put out Rex. It's okay.
No, nobody gonna look at me like I'm some kind of fucking chump.
They were not looking.
Rex.
They're gonna quickly return to their game, and you'll watch as large wads of money are passed at the end of each round over the table.
Rex,
That's what I fucking thought.
do you know how loud you are?
I'm not loud.
You are though.
Y'all's got fragile little bitch ears.
Maybe I do. But that still makes you loud. You're gonna shatter my bitch ears, Rex.
Practice.
Bitch ears are very fragile.
Practice.
Yes. Despite the covering of his face with the mask, there's no doubt the sensation is just disappointment and irritation. And he'll just finally say, like, did your mama not raise your right? 'Cause this is what it looks like right now.
Roll initiative.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Craig's backing up from this, like fucking.
Jinx is trying to intersect, like pushing Rex back.
Oh, something always happens at these gatherings. It's never boring. He just says to kind of Lola and Robert Jameson.
Wait, are we actually rolling initiative though? Because I can never tell with
Yes,
Robbie.
yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Oh shit, we are. All right, I better roll initiative.
Jeffrey, for his part, will just take free talk actions and not engage in combat at all.
I can't even.
Jeez.
This is how we die.
Ain't it fun?
Curb your enthusiasm.
I assume Rex is first.
I don't know that he hasn't spoken up.
Oh no, I was just waiting for everyone to get their rolls in. Let me see here.
Got two of them in the side chat.
All right. So yeah, without even thinking about it, he's going to punch him. So that is going to be 4 successes. I don't think. Yeah, let me roll up here. Yeah, no, precise doesn't come into play. So, yeah. Are you choosing to dodge or are you taking it?
Are you dodging, blocking?
Hello?
There we go. I probably hope I wasn't muted. Yeah, I'm blocking.
You're blocking.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that is 3 successes?
Yes, it is.
So 1 still makes it through? Do I just roll damage or what would...
Yeah,
Mhm.
you just
You just roll.
Yep.
You just roll the strength plus whatever for it, and don't get any extras from the attack roll.
Oh, okay. So that's 1. 2, 6, 1. That's still 2. Damn it.
All right, so soak 2 for me.
Yes.
Oh no, that's no success.
Double
Don't-
botch.
Don't forget that as vampires, you cut bashing damage in half, rounding down.
So it do like 1 since I didn't succeed.
Well, since you didn't soak anything, I don't
It
know.
happens after soak.
Yeah.
So you take the damage, you roll a soak, and then after soak, you then round the remaining damage. You halve it and round it down.
Oh, okay.
Because corpses.
You still pop him.
So, yeah.
Jinx is going to jump in between Rex and the guy, kind of pushing Rex back. You know, awkwardly, like making herself a body shield, essentially. As fortitude.
The fuck out of the way!
Yeah, she's just keep pushing that
Disrespectful
thing, I think.
motherfucker. He's gonna get pushed in line. He's gonna be disrespectful. He gonna feel it.
Rex. You know, she's like trying to like, calm him down gently, you know.
Caesar will just look at the woman, at Jinx take place, and just say to her, like, ma'am, I don't want you to get hurt, but I'm willing to back down. I'm not going to fight in a place like this. I know where we stand, unlike somebody else here.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Dude, I've
Jinx.
dealt with fools like you since I was a kid. You need to grow up.
Take a breath. Do not provoke. You've already insulted him already. Take a step back.
Yeah. Caesar will relax and be in a more that's a relaxed position and basically try to disperse himself from the situation.
Well, as the man in the gas mask tries to disperse from the situation, he finds a wall of bodies on the opposite side of him. 4 individuals, in fact.
Shit.
Well, with those 4 appearing, Lola's gonna just go ahead and slip over and get over next to Rex and join in on trying to get him calm the fuck down.
The woman with the blonde hair has her arms crossed, and she looks at she first looks to Rex, and then places a hand on the man's shoulder who has the gas mask on. You're both going to find that was extremely ill-advised. It's one thing to do it out on the streets. It's quite another thing to do it in someone else's domain.
Caesar will turn around, seeing the woman, and respond. He says, "Thanks, forgive me, madam. I did not wish."
No words.
Hmm.
And she's going to look at Rex. You. And then she'll kind of, not really shove, but sort of nudge the Nosferatu in the direction as people begin to part. And she points at a couch. You both sit there.
Caesar will sit on the couch.
Rex will also sit on the couch as directed.
And the 4 will sit on the opposite couch from them. Keenly interested. But they don't seem to be necessarily the ones in charge of what's going on here. They simply seem to be waiting.
Jinx will actually go and stand beside Rex because she was witness to the whole thing. So, yeah, she'll walk over and stand beside her clanmate.
And Lola will come around to the back of the couch, probably like doing the kind of not really sitting on the back so much as propping her hip on it. to prop herself right alongside where Rex is seated.
You're quite lucky nothing got broken. As a woman with literally white skin steps out from behind the bar, polishing a glass. And by literally white, I mean not white as in a white person, but white as in paper. And she'll smirk a bit as she says it. Now, who caused this violence to erupt in my Elysium?
Rex is going to cross his arms and oh, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you're there.
There we go. Okay. Rex is going to cross his arms and just stare with daggers at the Nosferatu.
Caesar will respond. I commented on this gentleman's behavior. He didn't take it. He didn't take it well.
You insulted his mother, to be more correct. Jinx will say, firmly.
Well, that just won't do. If you want to fling insults at each other and engage in violence, might I suggest the labyrinth downstairs?
The man with the fine mustache will raise his voice. The woman spoke to you, two meat-headed shit stacks. Answer her.
That won't be necessary.
Apparently that won't be necessary.
Jeffrey's eyes kind of scatter between the owner of this domain, the guy with the mustache, and the two supposed perpetrators of this incident. His short smile kind of fades and kind of falls flat. His hands kind of enter his pockets. He just takes a single step back, just in case.
Meanwhile, ping pong cat. This person spoke, and then that one, and then this one, and then that one. He's just following it.
If you guys would like, make me a perception awareness roll.
Sure.
Yeah.
If I even have it.
All right, yeah, I have 3 dice. Woo.
The difficulty is going to be 8.
2 successes with 3 dice.
Oh boy, here we go. 2 dice.
Oh, would it be
Still don't have awareness. This is
I
gonna
don't
be funny.
know where-
I failed. Can't see. I just don't see shit.
3 successes.
You said
Those-
defeat?
Yeah, defeat.
Oh, nope, just a fail.
Those of you who succeeded will feel a faint tickle as the hair on the back of your neck stands up.
Jeffrey's eyes narrow a little bit.
Do we get anything like a direction or anything like that? Or just a thing? There's a thing.
There's a thing. Somebody did a thing, more specifically.
In that case, their eyes will narrow ever so slightly, and she'll just kind of put a gloved hand lightly on Rex's shoulder.
So, are you here for drinks, or Are you here to gamble? She'll look over at the gentlemen who've gone back to playing poker, making actually an effort to not look in your direction anymore.
I said, my host, I was brought here by a woman of Helena Lewis to speak to a lady named of Daria. And the head kind of turns to the gas mask.
Let me stop you right now. You're a friend of Helena's.
I am her childer.
She'll look you up and down, leaning over as she approaches and kind of joins the group. You notice she's well over 6 feet tall. Well, why didn't you just say so? I apologize for this awkward interaction.
No, ma'am, I was.
Forgiven.
I should have chosen my words and not let my emotions take care of me. That's poor on not only myself, my sire, and my clan. I'm expected to be better.
Oh, please, let me treat you all to a drink. I was unaware of who had attended tonight. And she's going to walk over to the bar.
Jeffrey, Jeffrey will wander over to the bar. He's here for a bit of column A, a bit of column B in regards to the drinking and gambling. So yeah, free drink. That's our win tonight.
And she'll start picking through some stock. Let's see. What do you like? Blondes, brunettes, men, women, intersex folks? Perhaps you'd like something more exotic? I just got some lupine.
And his voice sounds a little bit, I guess, rough. I try not to drink like that unless I'm hungry. It's not good for me.
Well, that's no fun.
The price to pay.
Is it special taste? I have plenty of the exotic here as well.
It is a private matter that I'm embarrassed to talk about. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's sad. What about the rest of you?
If you have it, I would like brunettes around the years of 26 to 28. Gender doesn't matter in a heightened state of awareness.
Heightened state of awareness. Let's see. Is LSD all right?
Yeah. I could use some of that right now.
And she is going to grab one of the clear chalices, start going through her various bottles, most of them actually appearing to be clay pots. And once she seems to locate the correct one, she will pour him a glass and hand it to him.
He'll take it, sniff it, and he'll wait for the others to take a glass.
Would you be able to call me a dark brown haired, around 5'8", mid-20s, hint of champagne in their system?
What kind of champagne?
He'll say white. Let's see. I'm just gonna go with the first one I googled.
Search bar fancy.
Dom Perignon.
Fancy.
I can't pronounce that properly, but Jeffrey could because he's posh.
Dom Pignon. Very well then. And she will pull out another earthenware jar. Yes.
Ah, you're a star.
She smiles. Only the best for my guests. So, child of Helena, are you here on business or pleasure?
You know my lady probably better than I do. She was being impish and as vague as she normally is. She just wished this for me to speak to you. I would say at this point of a woman of your great stature, hopefully to learn a thing or two about our people, the kindred.
She's going to smile at being called kindred. What sort of information do you seek?
I couldn't say for much. I wish she may give me a bit of more direction. Surely, if you ever would grace me with such time, a minor lesson would always be very much sufficient.
A minor lesson in kindred history, physiology. There's so much about us, it would be difficult to narrow down so easily.
Then I would say I'll keep it to area expertise I am more attended to. Philosophy, psychology. You who have lived for many centuries must have gone to a sense of enlightenment that none of us neonates would ever be able to understand.
Do you speak for yourself?
Hmm.
Jeffrey just goes back to drinking.
Well, I suppose it is the role of the bartender to dish out enlightenment to the desperate. She'll laugh a bit. I would say the best advice I can give you if you live so long would be to avoid ennui at all costs.
Caesar will nod.
Robert will start to take drinks of his blood concoction.
Why now?
This entire time, Craig has kind of just been on the edge of things here. He's tried to keep an eye on the quartet, but we lost Shelby.
That explains a lot.
She may have blue screened.
She's back though.
Maybe she not.
There we go.
Difficulties.
Allah.
She'll say to experience, to push your boundaries, and to try new things even when they're forbidden is the key to enjoying this.
If she is perceiving Caesar, there is definitely a sense of distaste in her statement, but he nods.
She seems pretty smug. Oh, and taste everything.
I do enjoy a good meal now and then, but I try to keep my selection of the finer things and a general aptitude.
She'll just sort of nod.
I appreciate your hospitality, Lady Daria.
Just Daria. I never acquired any fanciful titles. Though I will say it has a better ring to it than Bar Wench.
Is that what people usually call you then? I wouldn't imagine. Not here.
Oh no, not here. Never here.
I was about
Robert
to say that just
notice that
go
the
ahead.
blood is good. The blood is human. It's remarkably fresh for being stored. And he will have, assuming it'll now work the same as on people, about 30 minutes before things get fun.
So,
It's a wonderful concoction.
She smiles. I have sources all over the city. In fact, you're sitting with some of my favorite suppliers, Helena being one of the others, which is how we know each other. She'll sort of wink.
I see. Well, it is an honor.
You are welcome anytime. Although, only the first taste is free. Unless something weird.
Daria, if I may ever be so bold, and Caesar will look around for the room. Are there any like instruments or like areas where music is played here?
Oh yeah, there's a stage with a proper like jazz setup, even a piano.
Caesar will look in the direction of the piano and says, "If I may."
What, you wish to play?
I would think it. I think I should bring something to the table to entertain our gracious host.
Well, please, feel free. Just be gentle with it.
Yes, of course.
My associate is very territorial. And she'll know if something happens.
I'll use it with the utmost care. And he'll begin walking over to the piano, taking a seat. If it's one of the order style, lifting up the case that hides the keys. And he will spend a willpower just to make sure he plays this well. And begin to play the piece Songs That My Mother Taught Me. And would that be a Dex performance or charisma performance?
Charisma performance.
Alrighty. Oop, that probably helped if I did it properly. Oops.
I am a fool.
Alright, that would be at least 2 successes then.
Okay. She'll definitely listen. She seems to be very politely attentive. And what about the rest of you? You all couldn't have arrived just to ask me philosophical questions, could you?
Jinx will come up to the bar, and I would like one of those drinks, if you please. Tugging at her hair awkwardly.
Of course. What would you like?
Male, black hair, about late 20s, and with opium in it.
Opium? Would you prefer opium, heroin, one of the medical substitutes?
Surprise me, she'll say, smiling awkwardly, tugging at the back of her head.
She grins. Surprise you? And she'll, after a while, sort of meandering around her stores, will stand almost strategically in front of a barrel so that the label can't be read. Find something inside of it, pour it into a glass, quickly shut the door that was the front of the barrel, and hand her a glass.
She'll nod. Thank you.
Drink it slowly.
She'll nod and will kind of casually take gentle steps back, slowly sipping on it.
Yeah, she'll take a look around to see if anybody answers her question.
I'm just a guy, no real name, no real title. Came in to see what I could see. That's all.
Well, I hope it's been sufficiently entertaining. Have you been to the labyrinth yet?
Yeah, I definitely. My friend here is more amazed at people's flexibility than anything else. It's certainly something to see. You don't happen to have you probably have a lot and just plain old mail, right?
Kung Fu, correct. Kung Fu.
Just mail. I have plenty of it.
That'll be just fine for me if you don't mind.
No particular flavor. I have brunette, redhead, muscular, fat, crying over the recent death of his father.
Yeah, I don't have the blinking gift, but we all know what I'm talking about. When that last one comes up. I'll go with redhead.
Redhead. Any illicit substances? I have one in the middle of edging if you'd like that one.
Straight edge is fine.
Oh no, I said edging.
If I'm able to hear this over the music I'm playing, there will be minor mess ups.
Yeah, I will comment. I will comment just because I'm about to hop up from the computer. So at some point in the midst of this, Lola will comment. I don't think I've ever tasted a man in tears.
Ooh, one of my favorites. And he will gift her from the bottle labeled blonde male crying over the recent and tragic death of his father via motor vehicle accident.
so,
That was a long fucking
So
label.
particular.
so detailed.
So
Oh yeah,
detailed.
she will graciously accept because you know what? Let's try new things. Let's just try new things.
That's supposed as the overweight male crying because his father died of a heart attack port.
Meanwhile, Craig has like edging.
It's like tension.
Perfect.
Meanwhile, Lola will taste that sweet, sweet despair.
I imagine his face is just kind of that tight, pinched, I'm in polite society. This feels awkward, but I don't want to offend the person directly in front of me kind of expression.
Jinx is probably pretty bliss at this point.
Robert's just enjoying his drink. She asked why they're all here, right, Shelby?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rather than say honestly, I came to see what could be enjoyed here. I don't really get out too much, so I wanted to expand my horizons a bit, as you would say it.
I see. And
It's a pretty boring reason, but I will say I've never quite encountered something like this before.
I'll take that as a compliment. I was hoping the rebirth of the Succubus Club would be something unique and game-changing for the local area. If I may be so bold as to ask, from which side of the rails do you folk hail from?
I myself, she's at. I myself am from the tower.
She doesn't, like, appear offended or anything. She'll just smile and nod.
Middle of the road, as Jinx is tracing her arms, probably along Craig's, kind of dreamily. Probably not even blissfully aware because the fabric feels nice.
Caesar.
No one else can answer? Gosh, guys, way to leave me hanging.
I answered.
Caesar will.
Good, Torna, you're a good man. Where's my hammer?
You're to bust
I
through
have
like
my hammer here somewhere. Let me get the fucking hammer.
About to
you're to
apply,
bust
but
through
then,
like the Kool-Aid man yelling Camarilla.
yeah, then the
Right,
Kool-Aid
yeah.
man came in with a fucking hammer.
Yeah.
Jeffrey will just say, I originate from the Ivory Tower. From Great Britain. God damn it. I said I'm from Great Britain, damn it. Well, what do you want?
I don't know if any of you have seen this phenomenon when like big people are talking to anybody in a room and you kind of want to be invisible. You pick a fixed spot, right, on a wall, and you stare at it intently. That's what Craig's doing.
Coming from the piano, hearing the end part of her statement, Caesar was from the streets of Memphis. I moved up here when my trade thought it was more lucrative to be here.
I see. Well, you're the first to give an actual location. And she'll smile broadly.
Jeffrey said Great
We're raised to be cautious. It's only natural.
Well, you have nothing to fear here. What happens in the Succubus Club stays in the Succubus Club.
Is there anything else you wish to ask of us of personal matters, since this is an open floor?
Oh, you imply a great deal of as if our host is so demanding.
I simply wish to keep her entertained. As she has gave us such a wonderful venue, I think we should reply in kind.
You wish to improve your performance on this stage? Well,
I'm listening.
no, I asked. He asked you a question.
Yeah, I thought he said, do you want to know how to wish to improve his performance? And he says, I'm listening. Or were you referring directly to his piano playing?
He was inferring as to your social capabilities, as to keeping the dear host entertained. He was engaging in metaphors.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time here. Let me change up my mic real quick.
No problem.
You should be able to go into the toolbox and turn him up. I did.
No, I'm doing it through my TV, and I should do it directly through my headphones just to make it more.
I am the opposite of Rex. I'm very, very quiet.
Okay, now I should be able to hear you better. Yeah. All right. So, what did you say?
He said you wish to improve your performance on this stage, kind of relating to how you stated, like keeping someone entertained within this venue. He's kind of taking your words and kind of turning it into a theatrical metaphor.
Yeah, I only wish to make up for what I've done.
He's working the shaft. That's what he's doing.
Does Jinx say that out loud? Like,
Yep.
Oh, Jinx, you are on point today.
She just says this in a very dazed voice from like sitting on Rex's lap.
Caesar will look over to Jinx and does a mild nod and looks over to Daria. I wouldn't say that in terms of that nature, and I would not think to do anything to offend you.
I have thick skin.
Craig just looks down at the high little kindred that has ended up in his vicinity, like in his personal bubble, man. How high are you right now?
Not very. It's a gradual thing. She said, take slow. She'll whisper. But it is blissful, you know? Always try new things. Like tap his face.
Okay.
Robert will finish his drink.
She'll be even like, look at Greg. Do you want to try?
What was yours, male or female?
It might ease some of the tension. I notice you're very stiff right now.
Oh, here we go.
Female, I believe. No, male. She'll just nod to herself.
He listens to it, and you can actually watch Greg put some serious thought into this. I'm at the brim right now. Wouldn't do anybody any good.
Okay.
Robert will again engage Daria. Ask her, if you don't mind me asking, since you asked it of us, would you mind if I ask you the same question?
Of what my allegiance is?
Of course, I can guess since the neon, but still.
She'll smile. I have none. I've made many colorful friends of many colorful dispositions. I would want to soil those relationships by choosing a side.
My apologies, I assumed then.
So, choosing ultimate freedom is a liberating and dangerous course. That's very admirable.
She'll sort of shrug. I wouldn't be so romantic as to claim allegiance with the Anarchs either.
We should keep in mind many sides proclaim that they are free. And independence isn't necessarily one of freedom either. It's one I believe has been in debate for quite a long period of time. Certainly older than I.
Indeed. Regardless of what you care about, there are those far bigger than any of us, none of whom give us a second thought. All that matters is what you decide is fulfilling.
Well, this, as...
From all walks of life into my club. Yourself, Mr. Daniels, the Bowery boys here.
The four of them will raise their glasses.
Cheers. Well, this was indeed very fulfilling, as Robert looks at his empty glass.
Robert, by now, is probably starting to feel the effects of LSD just a bit. As shadows grow darker and more prominent, lights become more fascinating. Just everything is so fascinating and weird.
What Daria will notice about Robert is that everybody actually, Robert still blinks and breathes as if he was still alive because he has a very high humanity score. So it's just like, ooh, here it comes.
Oh, yeah, it should be noted, Jeffrey actually looks hale and healthy because high humanity. He breathes and blinks. I forgot to mention that.
I guess if we're saying that, yeah, my humanity's 7, and I have...
You have a gas mask on. Nobody sees you.
Well, they might hear it.
He's Darth Vader right now.
Jinx just looks high. That's all I'm gonna say. I have humanity 6, but she just looks off her tits.
And Craig looks awkward. Because originally he was trying to rock it incognito. Now, to his immediate left is someone who is stoned out of their mind. Dead center ahead of him is something older than he can imagine. In his lap is Jinx, who is high as fuck. And to his right is probably Rex. Who is Rex?
Caesar will look over to Daria. This was a wonderful evening in a wonderful place. I thank you greatly, but I probably should get going to see what my sire would wish of me tonight.
Indeed. I should probably go check on the labyrinth. I left someone else in charge of it for now, and you know how that tends to go.
Yes, it was an interesting experience when we wandered down there.
And she'll just nod. Well, I appreciate you all coming to keep me company. And you, child of Helena. She will reach behind the bar and grab a purse. It's black leather, couple red roses on it, and she will hand it to him. Give this to your sire. It's for her and her family. I'm sure you'll find it quite useful.
But of course, anything for you or you and her. And he'll take it and the rose ever so gently and kind of do his best not to cling too tightly to it and he'll look over to Daria and he says, "Good evening and thank you very much for this night." And looks over to Rex and I hope you can forgive me of my callous statement. That was unprofessional of me.
I don't know if Robbie's still here. Robbie, have you been muted the entire time?
Caesar's saying he's sorry.
What?
Area.
Evan.
Some Caesar saying he's sorry, Robbie.
Who said sorry?
The Nos.
Gosh. Oh, Rex will nod.
And seeing that confirmation, Caesar will begin leaving the Succubus Club.
Well then, I bid you all an excellent night, and don't be strangers.
Certainly won't. As Robert says, he kind of just looks around.
Yeah. She Jinx a nod, like big, cheesy, high smile. She puts her arms around Greg, like quite, blissfully unaware of how much in his bubble she is.
Actually, Robert's going to walk over towards Jinx and tries to whisper somewhat. And he says, "Now I understand what you mean with working the shaft."
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Now Craig stands up and he has to semi-bridle carry poor Jinx. And Robert, he can't really corral. He's gonna have to try to use Jinx as a miniature corralling device. Which just really looks weird as fuck. So, right. So if they stand up, we're only gonna have a 5-second head start. So maybe they'll just be over there at their table, interested with themselves as we try to get out of here with our lives. Does that sound good, guys? Sound good? Sound good?
But we're fine. She just stare at him, really confused, looking around. Probably looks fucking hilarious.
We're fine in here. The second we leave, it's not gonna be fine.
Well, then we should just go, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Let's see if we can get a head start. It's adventure time. Come on, grab your friends.
Let us
Yeah,
go.
you just hear this. Yeah, you just hear a light, airy voice, Rex, Lola, this completely blissed out voice.
As
Oh yeah, she will. She'll be following along after polite farewells and whatnot.
Rex ain't gonna say shit. He's gonna make sure his friends are safe.
As Craig and Jinx begin to make their retreat, the blonde-haired Lasombra just looks over at them, reaches out, and just very gently takes hold of Craig's wrist as he walks by. Good to see you again.
There's definitely this moment where Craig is just stopped. He has that look of someone who really knows that they're on the edge of stepping on something dangerous, like broken glass or a
The
bear
shitting
trap.
yourself look?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Don't know if you noticed, but my buddy here is kind of a handful, literally.
She is? But then again, we both already know that, don't we?
And Craig's
She
expression falls flat.
Smiles blissfully unaware.
Yeah, I guess we do.
She'll let go and give a pat to his shoulder, sort of reaching up and just patting it. You should really come by the church sometime. It would be wonderful to have you sit in one of our sermons. I could arrange, of course, to have our assistant provide transportation for you yet again.
Certainly something to think about. Then again. And he keeps walking. I think we effectively left poor Joffrey in the room, just like by himself.
You all just panic exit.
Wait, is Jeffrey by himself with four Sabat? With a Sabat
Jeffrey
pack?
will hop off because he has no interest in staying if everybody else is leaving, and we'll just say a happy goodbye to everybody. And hey, he's gone.
Yeah, as they're all like.
Come over and like snag little Azarwigan as they're heading out, so that she has the opportunity to look at him and be like, you know, normally I charge for these services, and
As
nonetheless,
they, like, rush down the stairs, Greg just looking at Jeffrey like, we have to fucking move that as a pack.
And as everybody makes their grand escape from the lawless wasteland of the Succubus Club, I believe that is where we will end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, Vinny, for showing up. It's been another scene for Living World of Darkness. Camarilla in the streets, Sabat in the sheets.